Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving into something pretty fascinating today. It's all about breaking down borders with your book and reaching a global audience.
And we're going to be looking at how AI voice generators are making that happen.
Yeah, it's amazing to think that now your book can be enjoyed by people all over the world, even if they don't speak the same language.
Exactly. We're talking Paris, Tokyo, Rio. Your story can be everywhere.
It really can. And it's all thanks to these AI voices. You know,
Mm.
they've come such a long way. Remember those old text-to-speech
Oh,
programs?
yeah. Super robotic, no emotion at all.
Totally. But AI voices today, it's a whole different story. They can actually convey emotion now.
Yeah.
You know, joy, sadness, even sarcasm.
It's pretty incredible. It's like AI is learning to be human.
Yeah, it's almost like having an entire cast of voice actors at your fingertips, ready to bring your characters to life in any language.
And in a way, it's kind of like that. Think about it. You write a book, and with AI, it can be translated and narrated into, well, just about any language you can think of.
That's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. So, for our listeners who may not be totally familiar with this technology, what's the big deal about AI voice generators?
Well, for starters, accuracy is a huge factor. The technology has gotten so advanced that these AI models can make sure the original meaning of your story isn't lost in translation.
Right. So it's not just about word-for-word translation.
Exactly. AI can handle those tricky parts, like idioms.
Idioms, like what?
Well, like kick the bucket, for example.
Hmm.
You wouldn't translate that literally, right? It means something different in English than it would in, say, Spanish.
Right. AI gets that.
It does. It can understand the context and make sure the meaning stays true to the original story. And that goes for cultural references, too.
Oh, I see. So it's making sure the humor and the emotion of the story are preserved for different audiences.
Precisely. And that's where cultural sensitivity comes in. These AI models, they're programmed to be aware of those little things that can make or break a translation. So, yeah, you can be sure that your story is being presented in a way that feels natural to each audience in their own language.
That is so cool. But let's be real for a second. Traditional translation and narration,
Mm.
that can get really pricey. Is AI a more budget-friendly option?
Absolutely. That's another huge advantage. Hiring human translators and narrators, that can be a significant barrier for a lot of authors, especially new authors.
Yeah, that makes sense. So AI offers a more affordable way to reach a global audience. This all sounds fantastic, but are there any challenges that come with using this technology?
Well, of course, it's not a perfect system.
Hmm.
One thing to consider is making sure those subtle emotions, the ones that really make your story come alive, that those translate well across different languages.
I see. So it's not just about the words, but also about the feel of the story.
Right. But there are ways to tackle that. Like you can work with AI language experts. They can fine tune the narration and really make sure it captures those emotional cues. It's becoming more and more common.
So it's more of a collaborative process.
It is. And, there's this whole community of authors who are already using this technology. So learning from each other, sharing tips and tricks, that can be really helpful as you navigate this new world of AI-powered storytelling.
That's a great point. Okay, so for our listeners who are ready to dive in, where do they begin? What are the first steps?
Do your research. There are tons of AI voice generators out there, but you want to find ones that specialize in multilingual narration, ones that let you customize the voice and offer a good range of emotional expressions. Authorvoices.ai is a great place to start your research.
That's good advice.
And don't be afraid to experiment. Try out some short narrations in different languages just to get a feel for the quality and accuracy. Think of it like a test drive for your audiobook.
I love that, a test drive. And I bet it's super helpful to get feedback, right?
Oh, definitely, especially from native speakers. They can tell you if the narration truly captures the spirit of your story. You want it to be engaging and authentic for everyone.
It's all about creating that immersive experience, no matter what language your listeners speak. This technology really is a game changer for authors.
It is. And with language no longer being a barrier, it makes you wonder, what other creative possibilities are out there? What new stories can be told?
That is such a great question to leave our listeners with. What new possibilities can you envision for your work? Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep those creative juices flowing.
And keep breaking down those barriers in that